More. Okay. Good boy. So I got lucky. Mango is a Kill Bill toucan. I'll let you hold him and feed him in just a few minutes after I finish talking about him. And he is about, oh man, how old are you, Mango? 7 years old now, which breaks my heart because he only lived roughly about 15 years. So they don't have a long lifespan. I would much rather have a toucan than a cockatoo for 80 years. Cockatoos can live a super, super long time. They're really intelligent birds though. So that beak is great for catching things. He caught it at the back of his beak. He threw it back to the front to size it up to see if he could swallow it because he doesn't have teeth to chew things, okay? And he also can taste it with his tongue when he does that. So his tongue reaches all the way to the tip of his beak and it has little feather-looking things on the end of it. And what he'll do is he'll taste it. If he wants to eat it, he'll swallow it. If he doesn't want to eat it, he'll throw it across the room at somebody else. I used to do that with bananas, actually. So if you watch him, he'll size it up. He's tasting it with his tongue. Not now. You're not looking at me.
Maybe he's going to throw it at one of us.
If you look when he swallows it, okay, do you guys see the little flicky thing in the middle? Looks like a piece of straw. That's his tongue. Now he doesn't have a crop like chickens and other birds do. So everything goes straight down into his digestive system. That's it. And the sad part is, though, when it comes out the other end, a lot of times it looks like it did when it went in because he poops it out literally in 1 hour, about after he eats it, and because he can't chew it up. So if he was a cockatoo or a hookbill bird, did that go down the wrong way? You look kind of funny. Spit it up.
Not at me.
Yeah.
He looks like it's got caught.
We went to...
Caught?
We went...
Stretch out. Stretch out and swallow it.
We went to our dealings where there was a toucan there because like it was the same thing that you do. And it was a little girl who was doing the party, so when she was feeding it, she threw it really high, so it flew up off the blueberry and then went back down.
They will fly up to catch him. I've just never really gotten him to do that. So, and then when I go places, I don't want him flying off from me because if he crashes into windows and stuff like that, and then he'll learn to actually fly, and he could go sit on a fan and sit there and watch me. So if he was a hookbill bird like a cockatoo or something like that, he would actually be able to hold that food, break it open, and a cockatoo could pull all of the meat out of it and spit the skin back out for you. He can't. He swallows it all whole. His beak also doesn't allow him to be able to climb around cages. So if you see birds in pet stores and stuff, they climb around, they hang upside down, the parrots do. This guy can't do that. So his cage in our house is 6 foot tall, deep also, and that is because if he gets to the bottom of the cage, he has to be able to get back up because he can't climb, so he has to be able to fly. So he does have his flight feathers to a certain point. We trim them. Now in the wild, he hops from tree branch to tree branch whenever he goes places. He does not fly. We know he's in a good mood when he turns his tail sideways. That's his little, because birds are hard to read their expressions also. So if his tail is crooked, it tells me he's in a good mood. He's creepy, right? Me personally, I think it sounds like a velociraptor dinosaur, right? Some kids think it sounds like a dolphin clicking. I'm like, that's a little nicer. Yeah, he comes right at you.
Yeah.
And so his beak is made up of keratin. So again, like your fingernails, right? It also has a very thin bone network in there, and so you can see it probably when he's against the light. If you look at the orange, you can almost see through his beak. You can also see little spider web looking things. That's his vein network and his bone in there too. So you can almost see completely through. And then, I know he's got me too. His beak is also made up of, it has what we call serration. So you see how it looks like they're all broken on the top? Yeah. Right? That's normal. What he'll do is he'll take his beak and he'll stab into things in the wild, break it off, shake it vigorously to break off pieces, and toucan toss it back and swallow it back in one big bite. You can feed him.
So it's like a knife fillet.
Yeah, more or less, yeah. Now, he will also take his beak and he can reach down into holes and get food out that other animals that have a hookbill would not be able to reach and be able to eat stuff that way. Some toucans and toucanettes will bury them, like they'll go in a hole in a tree and the male will mud her in and bring her food while she sits on her eggs, and she stays there while her eggs are incubating and feeding the babies. So if something happened to the mate, she would probably die because she wouldn't be able to get out. Yeah, she wouldn't be able to get out, and then they kind of break each other out whenever it gets closer. So come over here closer to me.
To protect her and the baby.
Mm-hmm. Now on these guys, feed them flat-handed and let him get used to you a little bit. He's super gentle and it tickles.
It's like scary that like.
It is. I agree. If you look around his eyes, skin, you can keep feeding him some. The skin on top of his head, underneath the black feathers, is kind of
Is it okay, Mama?
an iridescent blue color. And when they're babies, they look like little pterodactyls to me. Watch your fingers. You don't, before you come up to him, you don't want to be doing this because he may nail your fingers. You want to have them all together where it is not easy access for him. So it doesn't hurt a lot when he bites you because he doesn't have a lot of force. But I mean, like I saw some pictures the other day of some past programs, and I had like big bruises right there on my arms. They're from him. Because if he comes out and I don't feed him blueberries and he wants his blueberries, he'll reach over and he'll just bite me and shake.
Oh.
And I end up with a big bruise. Go ahead, bite him.
Little stinker.
Yeah. He's quite, now he's quick, but it didn't do wear a watch or anything because I worked so long with him for so many years with nothing on my wrist. When I started wearing watches or a bracelet, oh, he had a field day, man. He would eat me up with that. And then he finally quit. You want to hold him? Yeah. Okay, so we're going to see this arm. Oh, there you go. It's a little scratchy, but he's not heavy.
It's so weird.
No, don't pet him. He does not like to be petted. That might make him fly.
And we don't want him to do that.
Then we'll have a permanent toucan.
Toucan everywhere.
That's so weird because I feel like he's gonna fall because he's like taking.
Oh no, you're good. Your arm is perfectly level for him too, so that's really easy for him. Really easy for him. All right, so we're not going to touch him. We're just going to look at him. I want you guys to look at his eyes. You can get a good close look of him and see all the different cool colors around him. He always looks at everybody. He's like, what are you looking at? You can probably see in his mouth and see his tongue in there. The very bottom, because his bottom beak it's like a little V shape, and his tongue sits right in there.
Look at that vein.
Yeah, just don't pet him.
Oh, that was so cool.
Oh, you got one of his feathers, huh, Chuck?
I'm kind of scared to be around his beak.
Yeah, he sounds like a dog.
He's like,
You think it sounds like a dog? Oh, you think so? This reminds me of Jurassic Park. Right before that.
Did you like it?
oh yeah.
I was like, that's what you saw.
I feel like he's totally petty.
That was your last one. Which one was your favorite?
Do you like it, Julie? Yeah.
Sure.
All of them? Which one was
Yeah,
your
I was
favorite?
about.